How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. Today we are in a 1965 Pontiac GTO with a 389 and an automatic transmission. Alright, so again we have a 65 GTO. This is a real GTO. I have the PHS documentation on the car. It was originally a 389 automatic GTO, so pretty much how you see it is how it would have been. The 389 that's in it is not the original motor, but it is a YS block, which decodes as a 335 horsepower YS 389, excuse me there. Backed by a 3-speed automatic transmission. The drivability of this car is really good. It drives down the road nice. It has power steering, power front disc brakes, and it's a really good cruising GTO. The interior is very clean. I think that would probably be the nicest aspect of the car cosmetically. It's got some aftermarket gauges. I don't know exactly what gauges they are, but they look like a Dolphin gauge. But it doesn't have the Dolphin emblem on them, so I'm not sure what they are. But the gauges are all clean. The seats have been redone at some point. Same thing, the dash has got an aftermarket dash pad on it, or a dash cap on it. And then the door panels have been done, and then the back seat looks like it's been done as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the armrest pads, so they're not there, but you can drill the little holes or poke the little holes in the door panel, and then you could install the armrests if you want them. The console is missing the little inserts into the console that goes around the shifter, but the console's actually in nice shape. The headliner and visors look good. Visors are a little bit older and a few little wrinkles, but the headliner looks like it's been redone at some point. This one does have an aftermarket tilt column in it. Aftermarket Pontiac wood grain style wheel. Again, GTO mats, nice carpet. So overall, the interior is very clean. This one does have a few items not working. Make sure you check out our additional infos tab. That'll show you all the imperfections on the car along with the doesn't work section. The tach is working, but it's bouncing all over the place. The rest of your gauges appear to be functioning well. One of the main items not working is the blower motor is not coming on for the heater core, so I don't know the condition of the heater core. And then the blower motor doesn't do anything, so the heat is listed as a no. This is a non-AC car, but you could add vintage heat and AC, and that would fix the heat problem. And then again, the horn's not working. Make sure you check out that doesn't work section. It's got a good outline of what works and what doesn't work. Temperature gauge is coming up good. And I do like that this is tilt. It makes it really comfortable to drive. All right, we'll get on it here a little bit. Nice dual exhaust. Holds well. Nice easy shifts. I will say there is definitely an exhaust leak. Sounds like it's coming from the driver's side over here. Probably the exhaust donut coming off the manifold needs to be replaced. Again, another reason why the car's priced where it's at. Normally a GTO, 65 GTO like this, if it had nice paint and it didn't have any issues, I'd be pricing it in the upper 30s, maybe even into the 40s. This one, the underneath's had some patchwork done. Again, photos of all that stuff is inside my additional infos tab. It's on my website. If you click on the vehicle, scroll below the information, you'll see the test drive video link, which is what you're watching. We have the walk around tab. The walk around of the vehicle, and then we have that additional infos tab. It'll show you all of the paint flaws on the car, which I'll dive into next. And then it's got the photos of the patchwork done on the underneath. It's a good solid car, but it has had metal work done. The rear drop downs have kind of been cut out where they need to be replaced. So you'll see all that stuff, and feel free to give me a phone call if you want to dive into the details of that stuff a little bit more. And let me get that little mat out of the way. There we go. On the exterior, it is a factory burgundy car. I don't know when this paint was put on the car, and it's older. It's got some fair share of little bubbles down low. It's got like a little crusty spot on the rear lower quarter panel on the passenger side. If someone wanted to, you could do some spotting work to refresh the paint. It's just I didn't want to send the car off to have the paint work done. I left it at a good price point to leave someone some room to do some paint work if they want to. It's still serviceable, but it definitely has its imperfections and flaws that you'll see in that additional infos tab. But the drivability of this car is good. The motor's got good power, that transmission shifts well, the brakes and steering do what you want it to do. And at the end of the day, it is a real GTO with PHS documentation, which is really cool. Not every car needs to be a fully restored classic car. Sometimes if you have budget constraints and you want a specific vehicle, you can get one like this that does have a few little shortcomings, but it still is a real GTO. It still runs and drives down the road well. You can do little upgrades over time, but still have a cool classic car to work on and enjoy while you're driving it. The glass is in nice shape. No major issues with any of the glass. The windshield looks good. Back glass looks nice. The rear view mirror does have some haziness to it, but again, you can buy these aftermarket for a couple bucks. Again, windows roll real easy. Vent glass is nice. The wind noise is actually to a minimum. Suspension is all stock style equipment, nothing high performance, nothing aftermarket, just stock original GTO suspension. Some of the bushings and some of that stuff definitely could be upgraded over time, but nothing that needs to be done at this very moment. Few little drips from the bottom of the motor, same thing with the transmission. Like any old car, they're susceptible to little weeps and seeps. This one's got a few little spots. Obviously, you start driving it, it can make those seals a little bit better. It could get worse. I always talk about classic car leaks. There's two kinds. You have your normal weeps and seepages, and then you have your classic car leaks, which need to be addressed. This one just has a few little drips. I have 100 old cars at any given time at my shop, and I'd say 90% of them always have at least a little bit of a drip. If someone is trying to sell you an old car and they're telling you that it's never had a drip, or if they have a bunch of old cars and none of them have seeps and weeps, they're probably lying to you. Doing this for as long as we've been doing it, old cars leak. It's just kind of part of owning them. Just regular maintenance. Make sure you're checking your fluids and things like that. Will help prevent future problems in the future. So I always suggest maintaining a good schedule of checking your fluids and making sure everything's up to par. Obviously, if you walk out to your car one morning and there's a giant puddle underneath it, that's going to be a situation where you're going to want to address that leak. But if you just have a little drip here and there, it's going to be pretty notorious and normal across the board on most old cars. My overall feel on this GTO, it's at a great price point. Obviously, there's things to do. If you want it to be super nice, it's probably not going to be the one for you unless you want to go put a lot of money into it. But if you're okay with some cosmetic flaws and a few things not working, you can get into a real GTO at a good price point. Runs and drives down the road well. I'm pretty confident in the mechanicals. The motor seems strong. The transmission shifts nice. And at the end of the day, it is a real GTO, a 389 GTO, which is cool. I like the aftermarket gauges. Usually I'm not a fan of custom interior stuff, but this one, having the tilt column, having the white face gauges like that, it all just kind of goes and it looks good with the car. The interior is very comfortable. You can hop in here with your family, put the wife in the seat next to you, kids in the back, and go cruise and do what you want to do. And again, good price point for a fun classic car. I would put the armrest back on it because that's kind of how I drive. If I'm driving with my right hand, I would want the armrest there, but again, that's a couple bucks to add for somebody. Again, on this particular car, I really suggest checking out my additional infos tab. You'll see a lot of really good usable information in there. And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else that you want to see, have comments, concerns, questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to get updates for the content we're putting out daily. Check us out at pcclassiccars.com, and we'll see you guys on my next test drive video. Thanks again for watching.